Hello and welcome our dear viewers to another episode of your show Hobbies Catalog. For today's episode, our hobby will be the motocross. And I have with me Mr. Omar Al-Midlij. He's one of the Kuwaiti champions who've been rising our country's name for many times. And we will take an interview with him to know about his hobby, his journey, and everything we need to know about him. And now, without further ado, let's begin. Welcome our dear viewers. Right now I have with me Mr. Omar. Mr. Omar's hobby is motocross. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
How are you, Mr. Omar? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, all good. Mr. Omar, for how many years you've been practicing the motocross?
8 years.
In 2015 or
Yeah,
16?
since 2015.
And
So
at that
it's
time,
8 years. Yeah.
and at that time you started ever driving the dirt bike?
No, it was on 2010. I had my first bike. I was 18 years old at that time.
Since you were 18?
Yeah.
But was it dangerous for you, maybe?
Kinda, yeah.
But of course, there's you're following the safety precautions,
Of
the
course,
helmet.
we
the
follow
armor.
the instructions for the safeties, for the motocross.
And why did you choose motocross?
I didn't choose the motocross. I think the motocross chose me.
Okay.
There's something like in my spirit, maybe it's lead me to the motocross track. So yeah.
Is it because of you like the challenge or maybe the difficulties? Because it's way harder than the regular bike or the regular motorcycle. It's way harder because there's a dirt bike, it's too high, and there's jumping and dirt.
Yeah.
And you told me that it's harder when you fall in the dirt here. It's harder than the ground.
Of course, 100%, because like you see, the motocross track, the terrain, it's different. It's way different than let's say the flat or the street outside the tracks.
And when I saw it, I said, okay, it's just the sand. So when I fell down, it will be okay. When you told me it's going to be harder and to be injured, I got scared. I said,
Of
okay,
course,
I'm not gonna try.
it's a little bit tough and dangerous because, like I said, there's a table jumps, there's a big sections, big whoops. The track and the terrain, it's bummy. That's why when you fell down, it's a little bit dangerous and it's tougher than like I said, the track outside.
How many years it took you to maybe take control of the bike? 2 years, 3 years, you think?
Maybe 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, because
2010
since
to
2014, from 2015 to 2018, I raced for a beginner class. From 2018, I joined the Amex2, which is the professional class.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And how did you felt? Maybe was it felt like good?
It's amazing. It's weird a little bit because you race with the fast guys in the Middle East. They are so fast, and you need to catch up with them all the races in
Here in Kuwait, was it?
yeah, in Kuwait and Bahrain and Dubai.
When there's how many classes? I think there's 3. You told
There's
me?
3 classes in Kuwait: the beginner class, and
MX1?
professional, the MX1 and the MX2.
What's the difference between MX1 and
It's
MX2?
about the engines. The MX2 with the 250cc and the MX1 with the 450cc.
So if I drive the MX2, the 250cc, does that mean that you are more professional than me?
No, they're all the same, but the difference is the engines. Like I said,
Only the engine,
Yeah,
not the skills, not anything.
it's the size of the engines.
What's harder, maybe?
Maybe the 450 because it's more heavier than the 250cc.
The 450.
Yeah.
It's heavier.
The 450, it's more heavier. You see, the 450, it's the same size, but like I said, the engine it's more heavier and more stronger than the 250cc.
The one behind you, it's the 250cc.
This one, the 250cc carrier.
Okay. It's the same size, but only the engine is different.
Correct.
Okay. And Can you tell me when you found the love? You loved it, the hobby, but not at 2010 when you first drove it, or before that maybe.
To be honest, Abdul Latif, any dirt bike, when you turn the bike on and you hear the engine, it's something.
How do you feel?
There's a love. There's a big connection between me and the bikes. That's why, let's say, I like the risks
You like the challenge?
and the challenge, and yeah.
And how many times you participated here in Kuwait? Championships.
It's more than 20 times.
20 championships.
20
Indeed.
championships.
And how many times you won? For the beginner?
Since 2017.
Okay.
And I had a lot of races in Kuwait. Like I said, more than 20 championship. And in the GCC, I raced in Dubai, maybe more than 2 championship.
2 times. Did you
And
win?
in Bahrain, only one. I
And
didn't
how-
have the chance because they removed the track, the motocross track.
Yeah, okay, maybe
And
they'll
yeah.
take it back. They'll get it back.
Yeah,
When
Maybe.
when they get it back, of course you will participate.
of course.
How many times you won in the Dubai tournaments?
2 times.
2 times.
Yeah.
All of it you won?
No. 2 times I finished 4th,
Okay.
and
four.
the second race I finished 5th.
But it was international. It was international. It wasn't like national. It wasn't like small championship.
It's
was
like
big.
it's like a small championship in Dubai.
Okay.
In a track, it's called DMX in Jabal Ali. So it's like a small championship in Dubai. So I had 2 races out there. I finished the first one 4th and the second one 5th.
That's a good thing. That's a good run.
Yeah.
Because when you start the race, how many players? How many participate?
It's between 7 to up to 12, 13 riders.
There is international tournaments. You told me before the interview. You participated. I think that in the USA.
Yeah, exactly. In California, United States, in California specifically.
How many times you participated?
I raced for the past 3 years, but the first 2 years I just go. There's like a small championships in California. I had a lot of races out there. I finished 3rd, I finished 2nd, I finished 4th and 5th. But the last year I joined the World Vit Championship, which is the big main event. And this is my first time to join a World Vit race.
The world, the international.
It's
biggest.
It's international race. This is the first. It's a dream come true. To be honest, it's a big main event. I dream about it like from 2017. I saw a lot of Kuwaiti riders, the old Kuwaiti riders. They are professional. They race there, and I'm like, I need to be like them. So I go for it, and yeah.
You said to yourself, okay, you want to be like them and better than them, maybe winning the first place.
I hope, yeah, for the next, let's say next year, inshallah, why not? But the last one I finished 13 from 45 riders, like 13 overall from the 45 riders.
That's a remarkable rank.
Yeah,
And how do you felt when you finished the 13?
of course, it's something insane. Like I didn't accept
You
like
didn't know
I
that.
thought I will finish 20. I will finish 15, but I do my best. Like I said, the motocross track in California, it's way bigger than the
The one
tracks
that we
here
have.
in the Middle East. It's more technical. It's more.
It's different.
It's different about the technicals, the lines, the ruts, and even the type of the sand, the mud.
You told me before the interview that you took time, more than 2 months, to maybe just to adapt and to maybe adjust yourself to the tracks.
Exactly.
California.
Abdul Latif, the motocross track, it's not like, let's say, soccer or the
the
handlebar
football.
or whatever.
And wherever you
The
go, it's the
motocross,
same.
when you go to other track, it's way different than the last track. If I move to the Bahrain track, it's way different than our track. So in California they have more than 50 trucks, and
More
all of
than
them are
50?
different. Yes, and all of them are different. So when I practice in one of them as my first time in California, it's tough. Like I remember, this is a funny. I remember the first time I go to one of the Lake Elsinore tracks. I stopped my bike and I just left the track. I didn't even practice.
Why?
It's tough. It's
Just too tough.
It's too tough. I can't even
You
walk
couldn't
around.
take the risk maybe of getting injured, too injured because of it.
Exactly, because it's new on me. The type of the sound. It was rainy and.
It was rainy.
And
the weather?
and they have a lot of big table jumps, and in every table jumps, right after the table jumps, there is like a small corners and small curve, which is tough.
difficult.
Which is tough. So I need, like I said, 1 month, 4 weeks, 3 weeks to get used to it.
To get used to it, and maybe you can train again. And
Of
after
course.
that, of course, you get used to it.
After that, I really had fun. I'm like, I don't want to go back to Kuwait because
Okay.
you feel like you are, let's say, a real professional, a real motocross professional, because you rode like them. Because the motocross track, it's never about the speed. It's about it's a mental thing. It's about the mentality. It's about the smart moves. It's about choosing the right lines. It's about patience. It's about everything. It's never about the speed.
It's never. And what I wanted to ask you about, you had your difficulties. You told me before the interview that you participated there by your own money, right?
Yeah.
Internationally.
Yeah.
And you've been sponsored by private companies. Like you split, I think, the budget. Was that
Yeah.
correct?
Correct. Abdul Latif, of course, as an athlete, the first 2 years in my career, of course, no one will give you big support.
No one will recognize you.
Of
You're
course.
new.
So when you work hard and you just keep up the hard work and you just win the championship, of course they will come to you. And like you said, the private companies, they are so helpful for me for the past 3 years, which is good for me. They help me. They're like all of them. They are part of my
Part of your journey
yeah.
when you went there. And the first time you've been a professional, like in 2018.
Exactly.
And before that, you were in the beginner class.
In the beginner class.
How you've been transferred from the beginner class into the professional?
It's a little bit complicated because Abdul Latif, when I win my first, let's say, title in Kuwait as a beginner, they told me next year it will be the last season as a beginner as a beginner riders.
They told you that you're going to be for the MX1.
Exactly. So the second season, when I finished the first and the second and third, they told me next season you should move to the MX2
Okay.
as a professional class.
How is the family support? Are they supporting you?
Of course.
Are
My
they
father,
maybe-
my mother, my sister, my brothers, they are so helpful and they are so supportive. And to be honest, for my, let's say, for my sports, it's so dangerous. So when they are so supportive, it's mean a lot for me. This is why I'm still here and riding and racing.
I want an advice from you to the hobbyists, to the people who maybe wanted to practice the motocross or maybe any type of other sports. They don't have the time to manage between school or university, or maybe their family. They already have a family and kids, and they don't know how to manage between these three. Can you maybe give an advice for them?
Like I said, Abdul Latif, if you want something, you will go for it. Don't say I don't have a time. All of us, we have our own jobs, and all of us, we have families. We should stay with them. But if you need something, like I said, it's about the sacrificing. And my own advice for them, for the, let's say, for the beginners riders, for the, let's say, in my motocross sport, they should follow the instructions. They should wear the safety, because we have, like I said, the helmet and the chest protection, the back protection, the knee brace, the boots. Those things are so important, and ask me because I fall down more than 10 times. So I know what I'm talking about.
That's a good thing. Thank you for this advice. Following the safety measures, it's actually important not only for motocross, in every type of sport.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Thank you, Umar, for this wonderful interview. Thank you
pleasure.
for all the information. Inshallah, in next November, we will see you one of the best players in the World Cup.
Inshallah.
In the World Tournament.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Umar. And thank you, our viewers, for watching this episode. Hope you liked it and enjoyed it. And see you in our next episodes.